Companies love to obsess over who was first to market, who was first to create a category, who was first to do all of these things, and far too often they forget that what really matters is who gave the best experience for that, who did it best. I'm not here to say that Nutrex's plant protein is best, but for sure, Nutrex's plant protein was the first one to knock my socks off in terms of flavoring and texture experience. If you actually watched the first video of me drinking my beta sample I got straight from their manufacturer, I thought they were actually punking me and sent me whey protein. It's been about a year, and they've now come out with their strawberries and cream flavor, which is exclusive to Vitamin Shoppe. So today I figured I'd do a flavor test and remind you a little bit about what makes Nutrex's plant protein different.
Welcome to PricePlow.
Nutrex's plant protein was one of the first to really come out with plant protein and have a competitive experience that competes even with whey proteins. They did it with completely natural sweeteners, 4 sources of raw plant protein, 2 of those, the pumpkin seed and the sunflower seed, being smooth proteins from Compound Solutions, who we love a ton. They also used C8 Vantage from NNB for their creaminess of the flavors. And this was the first plant protein that just blew me away, knocked my socks off, and made me think, wow, plant proteins may actually have a chance at competing for experience for people in the mainstream crowd. Obviously, plant proteins mostly appeal to vegans, but there's been a large crowd of people who just don't have dairy in their system. They want to stay away from, maybe not like animal proteins, maybe they're not actual vegans, but they want to stay away from the inflammation that's involved with or generally associated with dairy. So, got 6 ounces of cold water. You always want to have cold water when you're going for flavor. I'm going to throw a scoop of this plant protein in, and we're going to taste it. It is sealed. This is the first time I'm trying this. I have never tried this before, so this will be pretty candid. So yeah, plant protein is a pretty fun product. Last year we had a lot of fun talking with Max Fairchild, who was there at the time. Came up with the original flavor systems for this. Talked a lot about how they did it, and we're just thoroughly impressed by it. I think a lot of the industry was impressed by it. I really do think that it started a big competition in who has the best plant proteins. Now, everyone does these a little bit different. Ghost uses artificial sweeteners because they're really going for that non-dairy crowd, non-animal protein crowd, but don't think that the sweetener being artificial is as big of a deal. Some companies stick with natural sweeteners. Now, this one was really interesting because it was the first that we saw someone using monk fruit sweetener. Now, let's see if they're still using it for this one. Yeah, so monk fruit extract is the last ingredient. There's some pink Himalayan salt in here, some agave inulin, natural flavors, meaning it's actually coming from strawberries and whatever you would call cream. And like I said, C8 Vantage for that creaminess. So, there's a lot of different ways to do the same thing here. A lot of ways to skin a cat, I guess would be the phrase for it. But I really respect the fact that Nutrex stuck to natural sweeteners. They didn't just use stevia. I personally really don't like stevia. It gives me a lot of bite. So the monk fruit extract was really able to bridge that gap for me and give me an experience that I was willing to use. I drank that plant protein even though I'm a competitive athlete, and you know, people would probably argue that whey protein would be more advantageous for me. The experience was just so good that I just kept drinking it. What was it, the cinnamon cookie? I forget the exact name of it, was just amazing. So, powder smells just like strawberries and cream, really creamy. The drink, I get a little bit of that plant protein in there, but I really like the strawberries and cream scent in there, even though there is some plant to it. Well, PricePlow cup, down the hatch, cheers. It reminds me of something super specific, and I can't remember what. That's delicious. So the plant protein gives it a certain gritty texture, and this is kind of hard to like just get rid of because it's the particles of the protein. But what the C8 Vantage does is it kind of smooths it out. So you'll still notice that there is that plant protein texture to it, but it's smoothed out over your tongue. Really incredible job, to be honest with you. Flavor is just phenomenal. Reminds me of, so at Starbucks a long time ago, they had a smoothie. It was like the strawberries and cream smoothie. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Strawberries are phenomenal, creamy, meets the cream. I just sound like a babbling wine expert over here. But verdict is, I like it. Beard problems. Sorry. I like it. So this is a plant protein, so you're going to get 20 grams of protein instead of 25. There are going to be a higher amount of fats and carbohydrates involved because it's coming from different sources. The other two sources, by the way, other than the smooth proteins, which are the sunflower and pumpkin seeds, are pea and brown rice. Pea is known for being high in leucine, or BCAAs. That's pretty important. It also has iron, which comes along, which is nice if you're replacing an animal protein with this. And brown rice, the other addition, being high in fiber and being easy to digest. So the whole blend is really made to be smooth and tasty, but also deliver on the amino acid content that you would need to match whey protein, even though there is data to suggest that whey protein still builds muscle better. We're trying to do the best that we can here and give the consumer the best possible situation if they're going to choose to use a plant protein. Obviously, when you use a plant protein, it is a disadvantageous position for athletes, but trying to do the best that they can to provide the things that athletes would need to grow, recover, and get to the gym again, while also digesting it well. I can't knock this in any way. Tastes great, works awesome, has a great experience. Plant protein from Nutrex, a year later, still putting out great flavors. I think that cinnamon cookie protein is probably still number one because it was just such a knock out of the park. I didn't even know that it was plant protein, but this one is a very close second. The creaminess from the C8 Vantage goes very well along with the cream of the strawberries and cream. Couldn't be more excited about this. I'm gonna honestly just keep drinking this post-workout probably. So guys, this is a bit of a shorter video just because it's kind of a flavor and a refresher on the product, but I really do appreciate you guys watching this far in the video. If you have any questions about Nutrex, you can go to PricePlow.com/Nutrex research. I think there's a dash between the two words. Or you can just comment below. I'd be happy to talk about the product, answer any questions, give you my thoughts. I am a competitive powerlifter, so you know, plant proteins aren't really the highest on my list, but hey, if it works, if it tastes good, I'm gonna keep drinking it. Anyway, thanks guys for watching this far in the video. I really do appreciate it. As always, have a great day.
Welcome to PricePlow.